Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Countercast. It's your boy Play, joined by his good friend Grim. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to build a world. But before we get into that, hit it. Okay, so, so, what it takes to build a world. When you first get into any kind of fictional story, the world is kind of like the first thing to grab your attention. Sometimes, other times, it might be the main character. Actually, scratch that. Scratch that. It's not the world that it's the main character that grabs your attention, but that keeps your attention. It's kind of the world around them. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, Grim?
Well, it does depend on the type of story, but I would say for most cases, yeah, if the world or the setting isn't really intriguing, it could be very off-putting.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like there's so many stories or animes or mangas I've dropped because it just seemed boring as hell to me. I don't want to say I dropped it yet, but a good example would be like you've heard of Shy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an anime that started recently, probably in 2023 winter season. Now it doesn't look bad, but like it just didn't grab my attention because like the world just seemed so boring. Right? It was like another hero show, nothing was going on. And you're just like, damn, I I just wasn't invested. Maybe I'll go back and give it a chance one day because it's getting a season two, and I'm like, if it got a season two, it can't be bad. But
hmm I mean, it'll depend. In the terms of world building, it in order for it to really work, and also in order for a reader to really be mesmerized by it, the story that is being told has to cater to such world building, right?
mhm,
So let me see, let's give an example.
of great
Okay,
world building.
or an example to try and match my point, right?
Mhm.
So we could say that maybe Dragon Ball now towards Dragon Ball Super now is trying to do a little bit more world building, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
it is.
just Dragon Ball in general, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. You got Earth, you got
Namek.
the Namek, you got the planet Vegeta, but that shit was destroyed. Uh, you got King Kai's planet,
That shit was
and
destroyed.
that shit was destroyed. And then,
No,
but
technically
there
Earth was destroyed. Actually, all of that shit has been destroyed.
100%. But there was no real weight to it, right? When you're thinking of Dragon Ball, like it's just the planets are the best way to describe it, a
So,
battlefield.
yeah, they're like backgrounds in like a fighting game. You don't really care. You're
Yeah.
just there to fight.
It's just if this is where the fight is happening, this is where the fight is happening. Right?
Mhm.
Like when this may sound bad, but when you were watching Dragon Ball Super Broly, and it was uh Broly versus Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then eventually Gogeta Blue, and you saw how Earth, they were still on Earth, but that section of Earth was literally terraforming. They were going into lava. In the
Mhm.
back of your mind, did you actually care? Like
No,
shit.
no, no. It looks cool as fuck, but I didn't care. Like it didn't impact me at all. And like it's to the point because you know that part when they got so strong they went into another dimension. That was cool. I didn't care though. Like I didn't think of how does this what are the implications of this for the greater world? You know, if people could be so no one cares. They've never done it again.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
they just it's just the thing that happens, right? Now that doesn't say it like you know what I mean. Dragon Ball has bad world building, but it's like you don't. care about the environment. Like, bro, the tournament of power was in literally the middle of nowhere. Right?
Yeah.
You don't think to yourself, oh man, it'd be cool to go back there. No, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You
no.
don't care.
It was for the moment at the time. This was the setting. And then you just move on in
Like,
there.
I'll give Dragon Ball one bit, right? For like maybe 10 seconds, right?
Mhm.
I did think to myself, it would be cool if we explored Universe 6 Vegeta. And then I stopped caring because it just doesn't matter. You're
Yeah.
never gonna see that shit.
Yeah. So I mean it does depend with the world building aspect because if the story doesn't allow for it to happen, then there's no point of it for it to happen. But also,
But wait, it's funny that you say that because there are stories that allow it to happen. They just didn't take advantage of it, and I'll get into that later. But go on.
there is the conversation of world building versus lore,
Mm. I mean, those two things are kind of linked, but they're not the same thing.
right? So very linked, but at the same time not linked. So there is that interesting aspect of it. But I mean, simply put, when we think about world building, is you get put in a environment and you learn new things, or is that lore?
That's lore. That's lore.
So then, what would world building be?
I guess you can just sort of explore different the different aspect of the world, see kinds of like new cultures, how people exist here versus where the main character's from. Like you get a general sense that this is not just the main character's place. Like this is an entire world of people, right? Like a good
Okay.
example and the best example that comes to mind is One Piece, right? One
Mm,
Piece, the way the story is set up, every island they go to, it's like a whole new section of the world's unlocked. You learn more about the people, you learn more about the history, which is again upgrading the lore of One Piece. Like, and
mhm.
because of that, you get to just feel like you're part of the journey with Luffy. That's an excellent use of world building, and I will give Oda all the flowers for that. Right? He makes every island interesting. I was gonna say distinct, but not really distinct, but they're all interesting in some way, shape, or form. Even though I hate Skypiea, I'll admit that shit was interesting
Okay.
for what it meant for
So
One Piece.
I have a question for you. This was an idea that popped into my head when I was thinking about One Piece the other day. So you remember in one of our episodes we were talking about fillers, right?
Mhm.
And an idea
Ooh.
came into my head where I was like, as a One Piece fan, a pretty interesting filler that I would want to see would be like the Straw Hats or any of the known pirates going across the sea, land on an island, and then scrap with either Marines or, like, for example, you have a filler episode where you're following Kaido and then he gets on the island and then Shanks or Big Mom is there and they have to scrap.
And that's it.
Now, is that would you consider that world building as well?
Thing is, all they're gonna do is scrap. Just get the same shit as Broly. I don't give a fuck where they do it. I just want to see the fight. Like, you know what's funny? You said that, and that's basically what Film Red was. Them niggas pulled up to her fucking concert and just started
Mhm.
fighting. That's it. And
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that. Like you know, sometimes you that depending on how they approach the fight, you know, it could be a character building moment, and it could also build a world if the island they're fighting is essential to the story. But then again, if it's filler, you're gonna assume it's not. So like at best you can get is character building, like something like you said, Shanks. You show up, you see Shanks use a move that he never used before. He tells you some backstory about why he doesn't use this move. Now
Mhm.
you know more about Shanks. You know he's more interesting to you.
Okay. So then how about this? Does Doctor Stone do a good job at world building?
Mm. You son of a bitch. All right, for
What
everyone that doesn't know, Doctor Stone is one of my favorites, one of my favorite mangas slash animes. So yeah, let me see. Let me think about this. Is Doctor
I
Stone
feel
a good
we're
about
we're
world
we're
building?
we're gonna say manga spoilers as well. And
Yeah,
fuck yes.
I
From last
would.
I checked, like you go first, you head up, and you're like they're in Earth, they're
Hmm.
in space, and
Hmm.
there's just multiple developments. Am I wrong?
Yeah, yeah. I would say after they build, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. It is a good story about world building because you learn more about how the Earth has changed in 3,700 years as they explore the planet. You know, I was gonna say when they build their boat and finally started going to sea and exploring different land masses. Yes, I think that's a good example of world building because you get to see different islands, how people have changed, or what even like led to them being like this after 3,000 years. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I would say that's a good example of world building. Now,
Okay.
if you want to go back to what I said earlier, a story with a great like what was it? It was a great chance to have world building, but didn't capitalize on it. Naruto, man,
Oh yeah,
Naruto
absolutely.
definitely fumbled the bag when it came to world building, right? And I saw this on
You
X
want to know
or
why?
Twitter.
You want to know why?
I
Is
think I know,
because
but go on.
our main character wanted peace and had to follow the fucking prophecy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
say this. I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, if there wasn't this talk about peace, world building would be great.
true, true, because it would force you to actually explore other sides of the conflict instead of just showing the main character coming up, "Hey, yo, we want peace," and kind of forcing this peace onto them, and they're like, "Yeah, you're right, okay." And then now we have no reason to go see them because hey, they agree with us, so we don't care about their viewpoint. Like,
Mhm.
man, Naruto, it has such a perfect system to go build up their world. They got mission ranks, they got mission types, they got all type of shit. They opened up with having these niggas go explore another country, and you got to see how crazy it was, how impoverished the wave country was, why they needed to complete this mission. That was perfect. And then
Mhm.
after they came back, they never did that shit again. They
Never.
never like bro, bro. These niggas went to like one other place, Tenshi Bridge, and then what?
Mhm.
That's where these niggas scrapped. You're just sitting there, then they keep revealing details about this world that sounds dope as fuck. You know, there's 4 wars. No, no, 3 before the fourth one started, but there's 3 wars. You could get backstory on the world, why these countries hate each other, bro.
Yeah.
I sound so passionate because I fucking love Naruto, but dog, the amount of times you hear how much of a him Minato was, but they never show you why he's him or what he did to make him considered him. You're just like, bruh, what the fuck? you
Yeah.
know,
It's
like,
tragic.
dude,
And
we're
also,
told, sorry, but we're told the Stone Village fucking despises Minato, but we're never seen like why. Or we're told like, oh, he decimated their forces in the Third Shinobi World War. That's it. That's all that's needed. Like, we're not. We don't get to see like.
that's what I'm saying. Like, because of all this peace talk, it really ruined it in a sense because all your backstory is war related, right? It's
Mhm.
conflict,
But
which
we
kind of
never
makes
get to
sense.
see the other sides of the conflict. We're only seeing
But
like from the Vietnamese perspective for
and
the most
plus,
part.
it's everybody is going to peace now,
Hmm.
right?
So there's
And
even less reason to explore the world.
yeah, so I mean, it is a bummer. Another thing in Naruto that really added something great to the world building, but really wasn't explored more often, was the tail beast. and
Yep.
how every nation
Had one
wanted
or two.
and they wanted to acquire it too. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it was like a literal political kind of move. It was like, yo,
A
let's
tailed
make
beast.
sure this nigga don't got a tail beast just in case
Yes,
we
bro.
want to give him smoke,
A
right?
tailed beast in Naruto was like nukes in the real world, bro. If they got one, it was grits for whoever didn't have one.
Exactly.
But
So
I like the way that we're told about how the other countries acquired them is so bogus to me, man. I'm supposed to believe Hachirama tamed all nine and was like, you know what? It really wouldn't be fair if we kept all of them, so I'm just gonna sprinkle them around the country. Like, come on, bro. We don't get to see them talk about distributing the tailed beast.
and and also the thing about it too is with the Hashirama thing, I don't think any other ninja at that time was at the level of Hashirama or Madara. So even if you wanted to give them the smoke, he didn't even need the tail beast. That's
Yeah,
how
he didn't.
that's how
And
fucked up that shit was, bro. Like
actually, now that you mentioned that, that is kind of crazy because he's giving them. He proved he could fight all the tailed beasts. He proved it by taming
and
them.
he's giving them, bro. Bro, that's like a spit in the face,
It's
bro.
like, yo,
And like you're sitting in a meeting, bro, and they're like, "Yo, I got a good proposition for you, nigga." And it's like, "Okay, what?" So you see, I defeated all your ops, but I'm gonna
here,
give you them.
I'm gonna
Wait,
give you
why?
some. What? Wait,
Why?
for what? 'Cause I don't feel like having all of them. And you
Yeah,
know what? On the furthest spit in the face, I'm gonna keep the most powerful one. Cause fuck you.
like why, bro?
Like
It's
Kurama is so much stronger than the other eight. It's actually ridiculous, bro. Half
eh,
of him almost beat like a 7-on-2. Was it
yeah,
7-on-2? It was damn near.
and the crazy thing is with all the nine tailed beasts, only three of them were significant. Kuruma,
Three?
uh,
You being very generous. I think it's just two.
nah, three because
Oh, you're talking about Garas?
yeah,
Bruh,
that
that's
that
not
was the
significant,
no, that was the best implementation of a
bro.
tail
That was a
beast.
retcon. That nigga wasn't even considered a tail beast until Shippuden started. The way, the way the story was written, no, if there was not nine-tailed beast in the OG Naruto, bro. That man Kishimoto was like, "Yo, Naruto has a nine-tailed demon. Gaara has a one-tailed demon." Shippuden started. It'd be cool if I made seven more. So when he first started, bro,
This shit was retcon.
yes, bro. Like Eric, from what I remember or what I know, Kishimoto, he had like a what's it called, an overarching story he had in mind, but he really was writing that shit week to week. He's like, "Oh, this would be cool to add." Does it
Mm,
conflict with anything? No. All right, I'm putting it in. And then that's why there's a lot of weird things. But we're getting off track here, right? Another instance of perfect chance to build the world that like this is why I feel like this is part of the reason why people love this arc of Naruto. It's pain, right? In the pain
mm,
arc, we're told about how the influence and not the influence, what's the word? The effects of war and how what it did to Rain Country, right? And
mhm.
we get to Loki see it in the backstories for Nagato. You're like, oh shit, this is crazy. This is insane. You see the the Sanin, the Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. You can see them do all that shit. You can see what it did. And then Loki, that man Pain, he did his thing. Where Naruto was like, yo, why'd you do that to my shit? And Pain was like, cause y'all did that to my shit. Right? Ain't that it, bro? Ain't that fair? No, I'm just getting my get back. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh shit. This is more than just the hidden leaf. We can see how the hidden leaf affects other countries. And after the Pain arc, you never see that shit again.
There you go. Yeah.
Right?
So
Because it was like something about the third war, because of where the raid village was positioned between these two countries, it was just collateral damage. Right? And
mhm.
that's kind of why it led to that. And you're like, whoa, war really affects people. It affects more than just the combatants. And then the fortune war happened, and we don't see that shit.
Sadly.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Like another anime with, I don't know. Would you consider My Hero to have good world building?
It tried to, but it My Hero is a series that focused more on characters than the world building aspect. It tried to with a movie and the uh implementation of what's her face? Stripes?
Stripes, yeah. How she was the number one hero in
But
America.
not
Whoa, is
yeah, right? So that was good. That was a
yeah.
start, but and how like, they're like, "Oh, you know, all for one being revived is a problem for everybody, not just Japan, right?" And it
Hmm.
uh fuck it, we're gonna go spoilers for JJK, bro. I'll be that menace. Play You Are My Special. In the Colin games when Kenjaku literally went to the president of the US and was like, "Yo, raid Japan, bro. Here's why. World building,
Hmm.
right? Um Attack on Titan
Ooh,
did good world building. It
yes,
started
it
off
did.
small and then
Attack on,
progressed.
you know, Attack on Titan's my shit, bro. Yes, bro. Especially, Attack on Titan. Spoilers, ahead. If you haven't
Uh
watched it by now, I mean, we're not gonna go too far into, it, but we're gonna get up to when they find the key,
I
bro.
mean, yeah,
The
that
fact
was
that
just
that
a turning
key,
moment.
huh?
That was just the turning moment. I mean,
Yeah,
Attack on Titan doesn't have anything that is big. It's just
no,
that
no, 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 no. I think
the
world building is not just like physical landmass exploration. It's also like the history of the world. You know,
but
up
isn't that
until
lore?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's why I said lore is kind of linked to it, but it's not just it, right?
Okay.
So because of we were learning the history of the Titans before we got the key, and we also learned about the royal family and all that shit. That's why I fucking loved it, bro. Like that turning point, like you said, finding the key and going to the basement. No, I'm not finding. I said finding the key. That nigga had the key the whole time. Finding the basement is
Mhm.
the turning point of the story. That's when it snaps and shit gets real. You're like, oh shit. But before that, the build up to it was amazing.
Yeah, every every new revelation just got better and better,
Hmm. Hmm.
pretty much. So definitely, Attack on Titan does a good job in that. Um,
Well, it does
what?
a pretty good job of world building. Black Clover. I feel like Black
Yes
Clover.
and no. Yes and
Really?
no.
Explain.
Yeah. So when it comes to Black Clover, the good aspect of it is that you have different kingdoms,
Hmm.
right? But the issue is, and this is the reason why for most series that world building gets very tough and it doesn't really work, is because there's always your antagonist with the stupid idea of, A, I'm going to take over this world and you all are going to follow my rule, or B, I'm going to destroy this world. Those
Mm.
two aspects ruin it because, first of all, number one, when it came to the devils, that was another part of world building because it introduced a separate worlds to the devils, and we had how the people of this world interact with the people of that world, and then we also had the thing about the tree and everything, and how they were doing their best to stop Lucifero from being summoning, fought, yada yada yada. So
Yep.
that is good. Before they had like elves, but those niggas got slaughtered, so
Yeah.
doesn't matter. and but the main thing that Black Clover has is like I think it's the five different kingdoms: Clover Kingdom, Spade Kingdom, Heart Kingdom.
Isn't it 4?
No, I think it's five.
Pretty sure it's 4. There's 5 leaf clover. Let me see.
I feel like there's the five. There's I know Asta is in the Clover Kingdom.
There's 4, but there's not just the kingdom. Yeah, I mean, it's based on the card thing. Clover, spade,
So there's
heart, and
four.
diamond. But the 4 kingdoms, I'm pretty sure there's more than just them in the world because Yami's from somewhere else. So
Yeah,
clearly,
but that's what I'm trying to get at. It wasn't introduced until the end, and
hmm
you don't really get to explore it. You know
hmm
what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, we know it exists, but you're not really exploring it or anything like that.
okay,
So, and that's the thing. Black Clover is one of those series that it has very interesting situations. Maybe I wouldn't say situations, but very interesting setups. But because there's always a villain that is about to fuck shit up, you
you don't get
never
time to
get
explore it.
yeah, you don't get really time to explore it unless it's deemed so, and then really other than that, it doesn't even matter. Right? Like for example, in the manga, before the time skip, they fought, I believe, at the Spade Kingdom,
hmm
I believe. And then that's about it. You don't really do anything more
Yeah,
with the Spade Kingdom. They fight there. You learn some backstory about some characters and how things came to be. But other than that, that's
yeah,
about it. Then you're
yeah.
back at Clover Kingdom, and because a certain situation had to happen,
They go to another
then
place.
then they go to another place, and then boom, we're back to where we need to be.
I
So
mean, it's not. Well, I feel like it's not even just that. Right? It is the entire time. Remember, they had to go fight to that water temple shit. They went there, barely did
oh
anything
yeah,
there.
wasn't
They
that
had to go to the witch's forest. They went there, talked to the witch queen, barely did anything there, and they came back. And I think there was one other place they explored. Uh, oh yeah, they just do that a lot. They just go to a place, fight, 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 go back to home base, and then rinse and repeat.
yeah. I also totally forgot before the because I feel like there was two time skips in Black Clover. No, maybe. I don't know. But there
Mm,
was that first initial time skip, the one where Asta basically changed his style and he was like a miniature Broly.
mm, yeah, that's
Uh,
towards the end of the
Was it the
anime.
Heart Kingdom or was it yeah, I think it was the Heart Kingdom. It was the girl that had the glasses. Forgot her name. But
Mm,
they trained to up their rankings and stuff and learn different types of magic in order to fight the big bads.
mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that.
So that, but again, you never get really enough time. And again, it brings back to why One Piece does this so well. There's no connection. I
Yeah,
feel like you really do need to have connections and callback in order to successfully make it work.
yes, yes. Now, uh, I do have another series that I think has god tier world building. Okay, I know you know what it is, bro. The certain magical index series. Honestly,
Mhm.
because it's able to do it so well because it has just so many different spin-offs and side stories that are all canon. right?
Mhm.
Because they're all canon, you get to explore multiple different aspects of the world, right? So,
Yeah.
right, I know it sounds like we're just jumping ship from Black Clover because we kind of are, but to explain why Index has a great world building, we start off, we have Toma, him and Index are sort of exploring the magical side, and then we meet a character. Well, yeah, we meet Makoto, who's more of the focus of the.
Scientific.
Yeah, she's more focused of the scientific side. So when you follow her story, you get to see just how Academy City functions as a city, right? But with Toma, he gets to leave Academy City multiple times, and we get to see just how it is for the entire world. Makoto explores inside, Toma gets to explore the outside, right? But we were talking about how world building doesn't just have to be exploring different countries or whatever. The world building for Index is really just building up Academy City, right?
Oh
We
yes, bro. There is so much shit that happens in that city. I don't
and
know how it goes under people's noses, bro.
literally, bro, and it's not even just how much is happening there.
What?
Just we get to find out about the people that built it, the guy that founded it, and just everything about it. It's insane.
What's her level again? What was her
Oh,
level?
Makoto, she's level 5.
She's level 5. How many
Yes,
level 5s are there again?
7.
7, right? And
7 out of millions of people, bro.
they scrapped too because there's another spin-off too with
Accelerated.
yeah,
Yes, and he's
he's
him.
a
He's no,
menace.
he's
He's a
number
menace.
1. Yes, yeah, that guy is a menace. And because of how it's like I said, set up, you can pick and choose which one you want to watch. And low key, you can start with and oh no, I lied. You cannot start with Accelerator. You have to watch at least the first season of Index before you can watch Accelerator. But beyond that, you can really start with any series,
No,
and you'll
but
get.
do you know sorry to interrupt you, but I
You're
think
good.
what also makes it also very good, like for me personally, I'm not really into um the series like that, but when I was watching it, the thing that really showed that it was some good world building is in every single one of them you can see each character. So in a certain magical index,
Oh yes, the
you
how
you
they're linked.
Makoto, right? Makoto or
Yeah, Makoto,
she
Toma.
pops up there.
Mm-hmm.
Toma is the main one, but Makoto is popping up there, and also Accelerator pops up there, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In
And even other
in
characters that are in their own spin-off stuff. We won't get into them. But
in
yeah.
Railgun, which is the main character is Makoto,
Mm-hmm.
you see Toma,
Mm-hmm.
and Accelerator not as
Mm,
often, but
yeah,
if the
but
plot demands it,
they'll show
he's
up.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
And then I haven't really seen like his spin-off show, but I would say the same thing should probably hold
Who?
true. The Accelerator
Oh,
spin-off.
yeah, 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 yeah. It does kind of hold true. But Accelerator, well, I mean, literally the. I don't want to spoil because it's just that good to me. But literally, the clone of Misaka is all over Accelerator, so the impact of the entire story is felt in each of the spin-offs. Like
Hmm.
they all connect, and everything that happens adds to the world, right? Like, man, the Daihasei Festival, which is the sports festival of the universe, you see it from two different perspectives, and it actually doesn't feel boring. Like, oh, I already watched this, blah blah blah. I seen it, I seen that. No, you get to see it all. You understand it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Okay. We kind of didn't really talk about it. We're not really ignoring it, but good world building and bad world building, right? The MCU has both in it. Okay. And people probably beat this point back and forth, but I don't care. We're gonna talk about it. The MCU's
Okay.
world building is amazing because from the first movie, Iron Man 1, all the way up to now, it does all feel like a long interconnected story for the most part. And
Well, here here's
The
here's a
parts that
better
don't.
statement. Here's the
Mm,
better statement.
mm,
From the beginning to end game, world building is immaculate because you had a beginning and you had an end, and
mhm.
everything was connected.
Yes.
So we could say
I c
this.
Yeah.
However, because after Endgame, they didn't do a clean slate and they went with the whole multiverse thing,
It just became
and
a jumbled mess.
it became a jumbled mess simply because of what is it? The blip? That's what they call it?
Yeah, the
The,
blip.
the blip? The blip literally
One of the worst things that have ever been added to piece of fiction, but we'll get in that.
it ruined every single upcoming movie
Mhm.
literally because the first question that comes into your mind, where your ass was at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where your
Yeah.
ass was at.
Like,
Right? And
literally,
then
the Eternals can never dodge that slander. They've tried to say, "Oh, we were doing our own thing." Shut the fuck up, alright? Half
yeah,
the universe is gone, and y'all niggas didn't wanna do nothing. You suck. You're
matter
actual
of fact,
trash.
Eternals is the bold all caps of the movie that has the worst world building. Because remember, end of Eternals, a fucking God's hand
Came out
almost
of the earth.
came out of the earth. The earth was almost fucking gone. And not only that, a literal humongous ass celestial pulled up and
And just
towered over
snatched
your planet and snatched people.
and no,
Nothing
it's
was said.
never brought up. It's never brought up. Never. Never. That shit is insane. I'm sorry, I can't say never. It's brought up in a blink and you miss it moment in She-Hulk. Of all the shows, it was a random ass piece of text scrolling around the bottom of a screen on the news report in an episode of She-Hulk, but never to be mentioned again. This is a world-shattering event. And that's just
Exactly.
sort of like I'm not gonna shit on Eternals for being the worst. It is the worst, but it also was the start. Like you see that, and you're just like, damn, this doesn't feel like it's part of the story because no one's mentioning the events of this. And then you get stuff like Moon Knight, which as good as the show is, where does it take place? When does it take place? I'm not like you
Yeah.
watch Moon Knight, right?
Mhm.
Remember the scene where the man literally was scrolling through the night sky? Can only he see that? It doesn't tell us. If the whole world can see that shit, why is that never mentioned?
Right? And it's
Literal
so
gods were clashing in Egypt, and no one cared.
it's just so weird in that aspect. And it just doesn't make sense, right? And you know what also is the fucking biggest thing that I
Mhm.
promise you is not gonna have any effect? The ending of Secret Invasion.
Oh
The
yeah, no, it
fucking
already does it. It already
president,
does it.
the president of the US outed the scrolls and said, "Nah, bro, it's on
Niggas are
site.
getting murdered in the street for being
On site."
suspected as a scroll,
What
not
the
mentioned
fuck?
anywhere.
And
Now,
I and after what was the movie that came out after
the Marvels,
the Marvels?
and you know it takes place afterwards because of Nick Fury.
Nothing
So
happens,
why
bro.
is this not mentioned anywhere?
It there is no they introduced
Now, I will
world
hold up. I
uh-huh.
will give sort of a disclaimer. I haven't seen Echo. Probably won't because
Yeah.
there's just too much shit. I'm sorry, it's just too much now. I don't care about MCU stuff like that though. But if in Echo they do mention it, and we sound like we're ignorant because we have talked about it, we haven't seen it, so we don't know. But from what we've seen, Secret Invasion went nowhere.
Yeah. And
But
it
go on,
just like
keep cooking, bro.
MCU just had potential, but the whole focus on this whole multiverse thing when you could just focus on how the characters are interacting with each other. Like
Like, okay, hold
Wakanda
up.
Forever, Wakanda Forever could have been a very good movie that led to very good or very unique events, right?
Mhm.
You introduce a new character or
The whole nation.
a whole new nation that basically battled with Wakanda. Number
For I
one,
at this point, probably considered the most powerful nation in the MCU.
number one. You know how Namor was like, "Hey yo, don't tell anybody about us. Uh, I'm Namor. How the fuck do you think you could hide if you attack Wakanda?"
Yes, and kill their queen.
Like
Kill it.
they,
You
it was
kill you.
publicized, wasn't it? In the
It
movie, it was
was. It was, but they didn't tell about like how she died. They didn't tell what the name or did that shit, which is
they
dumb
did
as
it.
fuck, by the way. Like you're reporting to the rest of the world, like, yeah, our queen, she's been murdered. How did she die? Can't tell you. You know?
What?
Yeah, like realistically, they probably said, "Oh, she died in her sleep peacefully," whatever the fuck. But bro, the fuck, you not gonna tell people about this dangerous menace roaming around? Y'all think you got him on the lock and key? You don't. He came in and killed your queen and did nothing. Y'all did nothing.
Did nothing. And like, why? So you have that, but that event, that movie could have just been like, oh shit, now the world is on standby. They're like, oh no, we got another powerful as a
We
nation
are
that could
we already
help
couldn't
us.
deal with Wakanda. Now there's another one. Oh my god! Literally could have sent the world government, not the world government. Oh, this ain't One Piece. Sent NATO into a freaking tizzy because they're like, fuck. We was already trying to get a handle on Wakanda. Now we got to deal with Talokan,
Hmm.
Atlantis. We got to deal with.
Exactly,
That was
right?
dumb as fuck, bro. That shit is Atlantis. I don't know why they call that shit Talokan.
I think the only thing that the MCU will not mess up in terms of world building is space. I think the characters that revolve around space, they're handled pretty well. So
I
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Mm,
I think is
I kind of think that's true, but I also think space is very hard to work with because a lot of it is empty, right? Now you could
mhm,
use that as like different planets to have different types of worlds and different types of shit, but like I don't know, man. Like Dragon Ball Super is kind of heading into that territory too, and I don't know if it's working because Loki just like, oh, we got the Space Patrol arcs, and now we're back to Goku and Gohan sparring on Beerus's planet just to see which
mhm,
stronger, Beast
yeah,
or UI. Like it feels like it's just slingshotting back and
yeah.
forth, but it does have
It
potential.
it does, and you you just have to go about it. But I would
True.
so
I mean, look at Star Wars. Star Wars is a great example. Amazing world building and using multiple planets to do it.
mhm. Oh,
Yeah,
very good.
fucking love the
I would
games.
say I personally I haven't watched it, but I'm guessing also Star Trek or Star is it Star Trek?
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, bro. You're asking the wrong guy.
But I think they also have good world building too. From what
hmm
I've seen, possibly, but I haven't really
Have you
watched
seen
it.
Have you seen Dune 2?
No, sir. I
Me
heard it was
neither.
good.
Same. I
I
heard it was
think,
really good.
but I don't think I'll be watching it though.
I'll probably catch it on like a streaming service. Hmm. But
Other than that, who else also? Mm,
okay, like Fairy Tale. I think Fairy Tale has the same issue that we mentioned with Black Clover. A lot of the times, the characters go to new areas of the world, new places, but because of
they kinda that is true.
the
Uh,
circumstance of the story, they don't get a
They
chance to explore it.
they kind of tried to remedy it with 100 Year Quest, I
Hmm.
think, because you had the events of Fairy Tale, and then with 100 Year Quest, here comes a new quest that even Guildarts couldn't uh,
Complete.
fit, complete, and then you learn about new things, yada yada that. So
Okay, I'll give it that.
there there's that. I that's why I
What
said
about what's that shit called? Eden Zero. I mean, Eden Zero. Funny
don't have
enough.
enough information.
Yeah. Oh, well, I do. Oh, kind of. Eden Zero is low key kind of what we said about space because it's just space travel. So it's a space opera where you go around exploring different planets and learning new things about different people.
Hmm.
Does a good job at it. Like actually, the twist of Eden Zero. Oh my gosh, that shit's amazing. But personally, nah, I'm not gonna say it yet. I'll give it another shot. Give the anime a chance to build up before I say my take.
Okay.
But mm, ooh, okay. Now we don't have to talk about. Ah, I can't believe I feel so trash. How did we not bring this one up? It's literally the best thing out right now. Freyrin. That is
Yes.
that is peak world building, right? I'm not gonna say better than One Piece, but it's definitely in the same tier,
I don't.
right?
Is it peak world building?
Yes, that's the whole point of the story. You get to well, no, it's not the whole point of the story, but you learn so much more because of how Freyrin is as a person and what they're doing. So you're just like, oh shit,
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
right?
I
So
would
it
say Frieden has peak world building and peak character interactions.
yes,
You
yes,
you actually get to do something very unique with a 1,000-year-old elf.
mm-hmm.
Oh, a tangent. This is a tangent. You haven't started watching Frieden yet, right?
No, I'm on like episode 3.
Listen, I
Wait,
I
whoa,
officially
hold up.
this is not a spoiler.
That sounds crazy because of what I just said. I'm not a fraud, okay? I just know stuff.
Listen, I
Go on.
switched my tune. Before I was in the camp where Madara, Aizen, Sukuna, who's that guy from Code Geass?
Lelouch.
Yeah, the coldest motherfuckers ever to live.
Oh my gosh, someone
She
colder than them is in Freeman.
Frieden herself.
What? No, 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 no,
Nah,
no, no.
nah.
Stop.
She
Stop,
she
stop,
she
stop. I
cold,
will not hear
bro.
this. I will not hear this. I want
She
to because the
cold.
more I hear this, you're gonna make me want to watch, and I will spoil myself, bro.
I
I actually
bro,
have no excuse to not start watching. I'm going to start watching. But dude, I do. Just, all
she
right,
is the coldest. I,
please, don't. I don't want to. This is the implications of this statement. It's insane. Like, is she a villain? I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I'll find out.
bro,
But holy fuck, what do you mean
she
she's colder than Madara? What does that even mean?
yes, bro. Yes, you bro. I
Colder
can't
than Aizen?
yes, bro, I don't think you understand it because it's so you need to explain it in order to understand it. Can I give
No,
an example?
no, because then I want no time. Look, I'll do you one better. We can have a whole free discussion session. But you gotta be watching first because I feel like this is insane. You just blew my mind. Like, what do you mean?
She is the cold. The one thing when I'm watching Freedom, I never expected with the show was how cold this this character is, bro. You would not expect it, but she cold as fuck, bro. Like we've seen what Madara can do. We've seen that nigga on Menace timing. We've seen what Aizen could do, but I ain't never seen something like this, bro. It it
Well,
will
I
make
mean,
sense.
what do
It
you
will
mean
make
by
sense when you understand the character that is being shown. Uh, it will make sense once you go through the episodes and you understand her character and what she portrays. It will make sense that her moments lead to her being cold as fuck, bro.
okay?
And you're just like, okay,
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro, like, you don't understand, bro.
I
There was
don't.
one
I don't.
episode
Oh my
listen,
gosh.
once you once you catch up to the later episodes, we are going off tangent, but once you catch up to later episodes, like the season is about to end next week. Next week is the last episode.
Mhm.
Uh so the later episodes, you're you're going to see
Oh my god.
oh I can't unless you have seen it like it's just difficult to talk about it. So
Mhm.
we'll just move on from it.
All
I
right.
I
I
don't know
will.
if you'll have the same opinion as me when I and you be like she might be in the top 5, but I know for sure you're going to say if not top 5, you're going to be like, yeah, she cold as fuck. I know
Like,
for a fact
okay, 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 okay. Is she like Tanya?
Anya from the that isekai show.
Yeah.
I can't say because I
Okay.
haven't watched it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I
Alright.
no, I will say this. She you'll understand her character because Tanya from that video I saw from CJ, like
Who?
Tanya is just a black force energy. Like
She's just a menace.
she's a menace. She's gonna take your head off any minute, right? It don't matter.
Mhm.
It'll happen. Frieden is not like that,
Okay.
right? But her actions that she takes, you're gonna be like, this bitch cold.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
There you go. So,
Alright.
um,
Hmm.
but yeah, Frieden definitely has some very good world building in that aspect.
Mm.
Very good. What's another one? I'll also say, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Man,
Okay,
no.
I got
I'm
shut
I'm not
down.
I'm not shutting you down. I'm just saying I haven't watched past season 2, so I have no type of opinion on this. So if you believe it, I was gonna take your word for it.
The
Countercast is
thing,
just gonna have to take your word for it.
the dungeon is what. Well, solo leveling. I think solo leveling is about to be a contender for good world building as well.
In one season? Well, then again, that's kind of
Depending on what depending on what they cover in one season,
that's true.
potentially. So you do have that. Um, in terms of shonen, any other shonen that we could say that
Mm.
has like good world building? Mm,
Oh, I would
Bleach.
not say. I was about to say I would not say Bleach. It's not that Bleach
They,
has
I
bad
mean,
world building. It's just,
I think same issue as Black Clover.
which is insane because how much time they spent in each location. Mm, Like they spend a lot of time in Earth, but it's really just a Katakuri time. So
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that. And then when they go to Soul Society, like you don't learn much about it. Like you learn how things run, but really you're just looking at it from the Shinigami's perspective. They don't show us a
Yeah.
character that's like a soul just living in Soul Society and seeing what happens there. So we don't get to learn much about how it is. We learned what the Shinigamis are and how they affect the world,
Hmm.
and that, but that's not it. Same for Waco Mundo. Like Waco Mundo, you learn more about hollows and
Hmm.
what they represent, and then you learn about Ronkars or in the fucking hybrid. Well, Ronkars are hybrids, but like you're just like, what does Waco Mundo mean though? Like, well, what is it? And then you get to fight, and then you get to the Thousand Year Blood War, which yeah, give Dodgy Blood War, it kind of did a lot of the heavy lifting for the series' world building because you learn a lot about the history of the world and why these things are all in balance with each other. But
Yeah.
since it's all on the backhand, I couldn't really say it's good.
Yeah.
But Shonen with great world building, Gintama. I say it with a question mark because I'm not
Git
finished with it, but
Gintama is, I think it
ooh,
may be up.
ooh,
I'm trying to
ooh,
remember.
let me I just remembered one that has horrendous world building, bro. Like, I'm talking god awful world building. Fire Force, bro. That shit is trash. The anime is amazing. I like it. I love Shinra as a character. No, the freaking no side note. But the world building, bro, you don't understand what the fuck Fire Force is or what it takes place in. It's supposed to be post apocalyptic. It does not give me that feel at all, bro. The
Yeah.
only time you get that feeling is that one arc where they go to China. This is an anime so far. In the manga, I don't know. And when they go to China or what used to be China, and you see it's all a desolate wasteland, and beyond that, it looks like it takes place in our world.
Damn.
Like,
Okay.
what do you mean it's post-apocalyptic? Something happened, the world got fucked up, is what they keep telling us in the beginning of every episode, but you're just like, "What do you mean? Because 'Cause we're just gonna go to, a metropolitan area where there's where, what you call it, metropolitan area with the what do you call it?
Mhm.
Combustion? What do they call it? Spontaneous combustion? That's the real threat. Like, yeah, I get that, but, like, at the same time, you don't understand well how the world's supposed to be, right? And I think I don't wanna say it's a failure, but I really think it didn't do a good job of showing that this is post-apocalyptic.
Okay. I got two more that are good. You could say if you could agree. The
Mhm.
first one, I got reincarnated as a slime, and then the second one, ReZero. What do you think?
I agree, I agree on both of those, but the thing about slime is that's kind of what maybe because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, bro. And you know, Dragon Ball fans, bro, they don't like reading or lore. Because, bruh, I love slime. It's really good, but man, I really do not care about Jura. All right, I don't care about
The
Uri's
his
kingdom.
nation.
I don't care about his people. I don't care about the elves. I don't care about the orcs. All I care about is Rebrew, right? And unironically, I also give a fuck about those 5 kids he takes care of because they actually seem cool as fuck. But the monsters, bro, I do not care, bro. So the
Okay.
fact that most of the of the world building is from their perspective, I'm just like, okay, I guess this
Okay.
is it. Which is insane to say about a show that you like that you just don't care about 70% of the cast. But I just don't. I just don't, man. So that's why it's hard for
No,
me to say like,
I
yeah, it's.
mean,
Hmm?
you can say that about the same thing about JJK.
Oh no, I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends, bro.
Most of
JJ,
the cast,
no one gives a
unless
fuck about.
you don't give a fuck about, unless they can scrap, like actually
Nah,
scrap.
not even if they can scrap, bro. It's getting to the point. If you read the manga and you caught up, it's getting to the point. You don't give a fuck unless your name's Sukuna or Gojo. Right? I'm sorry, Yuji. Like Yuji, you kind of there, but you're like,
I
nah, man,
still
not really,
I still hold out hope. Like,
bro. You
bro,
know,
if you're
you know.
reading
Wait,
manga,
hold up. If you read the
Megumi is
manga,
an L.
you know, yes, he is. If you read the manga, you know it's been 6 months since Yuji's got his new arms. You know that?
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, that went nowhere.
The the
That
the
shit is
only char
crazy.
the only characters there's
Oh,
about
my bad. Sukuna, Gojo, or Toji?
there I would say there's like 5 or 6, close to 10. Every other character is like eh.
No, no. It feels like everyone's
Yuta?
expendable, bro. It feels like
Like
everyone's expendable, bro. It feels like
you're not
everyone's
wrong.
expendable.
Yeah, you're not
That
wrong.
shit is crazy, bro. I'm sorry. He's just my goat, or he's one of my goats. Right?
The only series that I could think of that most of the characters, different individuals can care for is literally One Piece. Black Clover, you do not care about majority of the characters, unless it's Asta,
The Black
Yami.
Bulls. Unless it's the Black Bulls and a very select few of people outside of them, right?
That's it. Dragon Ball, you don't care about
About Goku.
anyone.
No, 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 no,
Goku,
no, no. Actually,
Vegeta,
no, no, no. I want to
Broly.
say something. I want to say something. I want to say something about that. Right? I'm tired of Dragon Ball fans coming up and like, oh man, Dragon Ball is just the Goku and Vegeta show. Shut the fuck up, bro. You do not care about anyone besides those two and baby Broly, bro. Why are you acting like you want to watch a show about Krillin? Why are you acting like that? You don't want to watch that shit unless your name is Dato Doi. You don't want to watch that shit, okay? like,
Nobody,
like
nobody
you want to
wants
watch
to
a
watch.
show about about Gohan? Okay, actually, maybe you kind of do. I'll give you that. Gohan fan, your existence is acknowledged. But
No, stop. No, they're not, bro. This he doesn't scrap anymore. It's like
hey, whoa, we
look,
just got beefs. What do you mean? We
listen,
just got beefs.
this is very bad to say, but he a lame nigga, bro. He doing what he should. He's a good father. What?
Yo, what do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean? How's that make him a lame nigga, bro? How's being respectable and a good father a lame nigga?
Not in Dragon Ball, bro.
Yo.
Dragon Ball, you Dragon Ball, you need to be a bad father. You need to have a bad bitch beside you. You gotta fight.
Hey,
You
Gohan got half of that. He got Videl. Okay, but he's a good. Well, actually, no, he low key a bad father. Nigga got Piccolo picking up his daughter from school. What the fuck? I mean, he's on his way. He's on his way, bro. He's about to have Piccolo raise Pan. Oh my gosh, like,
all right,
ooh.
he's on his way, bro. That's how
But
it is.
yeah.
But the
Back to the whole
others,
point there, bro.
bro, Tien, irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Chaozu,
Irrelevant. Yamcha, irrelevant. The androids, irrelevant. Fucking hell. Like the only non-fan character that's relevant is Bulma. That's it. I'm sorry, bruh. Stop acting like y'all niggas give a fuck about non-fans. You don't. You don't.
Frieza, kinda irrelevant until he's alive.
Yeah, she's not irrelevant, bro. Like Black Frieza one shot the strongest form of Goku and Vegeta 2 years ago. But that's just the fact that the story is progressing very slowly.
There you go. But yeah, man, like it it sucks. So,
It
like
does.
you gun to your head, true One Piece fans, gun to their head, they can name you 50 to 100 characters. Dragon Ball or any other shonen,
They're
gun to
not.
their head, they can 10 characters is a difficult task.
Oh, but they got androids 1 through 20. One. You know, they got Twitter right there. Okay. No, for real though. You're right. You're not wrong, bro. Like half no 80% of Dragon Ball's characters are irrelevant. All right. They're irrelevant even after the arc they're introduced in, right? No one gives a fuck about Dende.
And that nigga became
No one gives a
super.
fuck about King Kai. Like people barely give a fuck about Beerus and Whis because they're in every arc now. If they retired them niggas, bruh, 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 bruh. No one cares about the niggas from the Tournament of Power, bruh. Jiren, yeah, they're shown one bit. The Saiyans, nope, no one gives a fuck. The fucking Brick, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares.
Yeah. So it's like it's tough out here, man.
It really is tough. It really is tough. But
It,
that's not to discredit the world building. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know, man. It's just crazy because like you said, well, you said JJK. And what other anime has good world building? No,
uh
no, you said ReZero and
slime.
Slime. All right, we got off on a bad tangent there. Let's talk about ReZero.
ReZero
Yes,
is actually pretty good. I don't know if it's also with
but it's
the
also
lore.
slow
True. It is
because
slow with it. Yeah.
yes, they developed the world around Subaru, right? Like basically, we're not told anything unless Subaru's told it. So,
Or he
uh,
finds out for himself.
yeah, yeah,
Like what was it? Was it season 2? The witch
yes, which is insane, right? Like they
where
had
he
that
went to
whole
the tea party,
thing.
I think.
that the whole thing where Satella is just this insane figure constantly brought up gave this man his powers returned by death, and we don't know anything about her. We don't find out anything about her until Subaru meets her face to face, and even then, all we learned is that she exists.
Yeah.
It's like we don't learn why she gave him power, why he's doing all this. We don't know.
He's just like, I'm here. I was like, okay, I
All right,
guess.
yeah,
So there's that. They do a good job, but I agree they are slow with it. So, but you can't blame them.
no, you can't. What you can't. Well, also, I don't know. I would say SAO, the world building in SAO is kind of interesting because they handle
The
it
only
by
thing,
having different floors, but it all gets repetitive. They
the
even
only
they even
thing
shows you.
SAO has is just that a lot of shit is connected. I would say the part that I really enjoyed about SAO was Alicization. Is that what it's called?
Hmm.
Yeah, but part one, where what was it? Was Kirito in a coma or something? Or
He was, yeah, in a coma, but Alicization time flowed differently. So it was like he was in a coma for like 2 days, and he was in Alicization for like a month or some shit, something like that.
hmm
Hey, I think the time dilation is actually way more insane. If I remember, it's more than just that. Let me see, time dilation in Alicization. Oh my gosh.
but I will say the thing is, yeah, SAO does get repetitive, but when you go outside of the again, yo, I just
Hmm.
missed. We just uh skipped over a good one,
What?
and we've been watching it week to week. Your
Shangri
show,
La Frontier?
yeah,
Yeah.
you saw the episode where they defeated
Yeah.
uh
Yeah. I did. That shit
Weather
was fire.
Tomb,
Weathermon, the Tomb
Weathermon.
Guard.
That was a world
Weathermon, the
building
Tomb
event.
Guard.
Yeah,
Huh?
that was a world
Nah.
building
Yeah, it was. It was. Which
from
is
in game and out the game. You now you get more information on how the game was made and
what it
stuff.
is supposed to be, and you also learn about the company that makes it and what their intention with the game was.
hmm
Ugh. Honestly, like I loved it. It was good. Yeah, it was good.
hmm
It's just so weird because of the disconnect I have with the series. Like Shangri-La Frontier is just a game in their world. It's just a game. Right? It's nothing real. But
hmm
the way these people treat it, like, bro, Pencil Gun, bro, it felt like she had a personal connection with Setsuna. And I'm like, nigga, this is a piece of code. Who are you talking about? Like, oh yeah. We feel good Setsuna. I'm like, oh, but hey, maybe later on they'll reveal some shit crazy like, oh, Setsuna is a Frenchman in real life and they honored her in the game, blah 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 or whatever. But so
hmm
far, it's just like this is weird. But a good game has people that invested. So I guess it's also to show how good the game is to them.
hmm Yeah. So
Hmm.
that one is good. But yeah, back to SAO. They
Oh, okay.
the world building really
I
kicked
found it.
up with
Time
SAO.
dilation is about 24 to 3 or no, not 24 to 3. 1 week is about 100 years in the game. So that's how much time has passed.
Okay, okay. But overall, I mean, I would say the thing is a lot of series do have some world building and they do have the potential. But I think the main thing that really prevents them from having that what they truly are looking for is number one time, right?
Mhm.
Timing, that could be a problem.
Some
And
series have the time, they just don't do it. I'm talking about you, Spy Family. I'm talking
and
about you.
as I and also like if the characters always need to do something.
Hmm.
Like always need to fight a villain. Always need to solve the next problem. Yada yada yada. Then it constantly takes away from it. You know, like in order for you to really have a good world
Well,
building,
actually,
you have to explore.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
I was about to loop back up around to where we started with One Piece. You know, because of it's not just Luffy. You have the crew. The crew is able to explore on their own
mhm,
instead of just focusing on the Luffy's perspective. So that's why One Piece is able to effectively show and build their world a lot because you get to see like, oh, of course Luffy has to fight the main bad guy, but Nami and Usopp don't have to do that. They can go and see what the people are like while Luffy is out training or whatever.
mhm.
So
So yeah, but yeah. What do
okay,
you think? Any
I
any closing remarks or any thoughts?
mm, yeah, no, world building. I think we kind of tackled everything I wanted to say. Like I really did want to just highlight series that have a great world building, series that wasted their chance to do it. Sorry, Naruto. Or series that take a lot of time but still don't do it. Stuff
Mhm.
like that. But do you? I know recently you've been having like recommendations at the end of these episodes. Do you have any for this week?
Any recommendations? Um,
Yeah, Grimm's Rest.
not not really. So, ooh, I guess I've been
Should we start putting
slack
these in the description?
as of right now. Maybe not now, but I feel like I've been kind of slacking. The only thing I would say is
Well, I
if
mean,
you haven't, I'll say this for this episode. I don't got any recommendation, but just know we are at the point where the season is basically ending. Lots
mhm,
of
about to
12,
transition to the next one.
right? If you haven't caught up with Classroom of Elite, next week is I think next week is the final episode. I think they have 12 episodes this season.
Hmm.
Uh, Frieden, next week is its final episode. Make sure you watch that. And yeah, some series they're finishing this season. Catch up if you can and get ready for spring because spring is going to be a banger. And as well, if you are not watching Delicious in Dungeon,
Hmm.
watch it because yo, I
All
got to
right.
give props to Studio Trigger, man. They
No,
they do a
forever.
good job. Watch it. So that's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna suggest some things, but I'm not. It's not new. If you haven't get watched it, I recommend giving Tiger and Bunny a try. If you like superhero stories, but you also like the sort of westernized view on it, versus they really want something other than My Hero, Tiger and Bunny is a good watch.
Okay.
If you want to watch an anime about people scrapping, I recommend Bento. That shit is good. That shit is good. And if you want like a quick example, not example, explanation of what it is, basically, if you like a good deal on your food, you're gonna fight about it. That's
Okay.
Bento. And for the last one, hmm, hmm. For the last recommendation, I'm probably gonna say Psychopath. You know, if you're interested in the mental aspect of criminality, so sort of something like Criminal Minds,
A thriller
Psychopaths
drama.
is a good watch. Yeah, it's a thriller drama. It's a good watch. So there we go. We got Psychopaths, Bento, and what was that first one I said?
Uh, Tiger and
Yeah, Tiger
something.
and Bunny.
Tiger and
That's
Bunny.
we'll call that plays recommendations this week.
There you go.
All right. With that, Countercast out.